My name's Hal Wardroper. I'm an Associate Director at SRM. But what's very nice about this event is that it's very informal. I mean, the whole event's quite informal. There's good content within it, but it's really easy, relaxed atmosphere within which we can talk to people about what we do. It's quite like provider first, which many conferences aren't, and obviously that's part of the deal that the delegates know as well. So everyone's very open to have that conversation, and they know that part of the deal, and they're happy to. And there's actually a really good bit of information that comes to us from beforehand, from the sort of in the lead up to the event, which helps us a lot in terms of who we want to talk to. It's really useful to know budget responsibility and first and foremost problems that people want to solve within their roles and what their current role includes, because then that helps us zoom in on people and delegates that are most suited to what we do, and equally not waste delegates' time because we don't want to talk to someone, particularly when they don't do anything relevant to us and they don't want to talk to us. Two major advantages of this forum. A, it's service provider focused, as in or centric rather than delegate focused. So people are pushed towards the service providers as part of that part of the deal, and that's really useful for us, obviously. So takes a bit of a strain off there, rather than sort of sharking around conversations all the time, which is very painful and no one likes to do it. But also the other sort of major benefit of it is if you are off-site for a couple of days, there is that social element, so it's not just purely work, so you can actually just talk to people on a purely human level rather than on a business level. And if you're in town, or if it's at a major event and thousands of people are there, you're not going to see people more than once. You're not going to see people in the evenings when in the informal setting, so it can be much more stilted in terms of those conversations. Yeah, we've certainly got a few. There's some which are sort of developed over the year, but the conversation's still happening. Some procurement just takes a really long time. Some of those conversations have just been sort of slowly working through, so good to see some of them again, and that certainly, there are some more concrete opportunities coming through them. There are some brand new opportunities which I know exist. I mean, there's one which we're going to start on procurement in the next week, which is for a FTSE 100 company, which is great, and there should be lots of potential work there. Or at least the opportunities will exist. And so there's a few really good, really promising conversations. There's a few sitting around in the middle in terms of there may be, there may not be. We'll develop and see how we go, but definitely a good number of leads to come out of it with. I'd recommend it purely because on the service provider side, I think it's really great that people are, the companies that you're here to see are happy to see you. I think that's the main thing, because that's very rarely the case in terms of why people come to these sorts of events. But it's really nice that delegates and businesses that you want to talk to also been really interested in knowing what you do, and it's run very well in terms of helping that ethos go through that event.